The first time I heard my mother call me a mistake, I was 6 years old. She didn't know I was sitting at the top of the stairs, clutching my favourite stuffed elephant while she talked on the phone in the kitchen. "Of course we love her," she'd said, her voice carrying that artificial sweetness she used for church friends. But Daria wasn't exactly planned. Sometimes I wonder how different things would be if... That trailing off shaped my entire childhood. I'm standing in our kitchen now, 19 years later, holding a check that represents 3 years of double shifts and missed vacations. $20,000 made of midnight diner tips, overtime hours, and saying no to every happy hour invitation. "Here," I say, sliding the check across our granite countertop to my brother Dominic. He's practically vibrating with excitement about his NYU acceptance letter. Mom barely glances up from her phone. "It's the least you can do, considering how much we've sacrificed for you." I bite my tongue so hard I taste copper. The familiar weight of unspoken words sits heavy in my chest as I watch Dominic snap a photo of the check for Instagram. "This is sick," he grins, already typing a caption. "Full tuition covered. Dreams really do come true. Jax's blessed, Justin Dax and you bound." Dad shuffles in from the garage, still in his work clothes. He gives me that same tired smile he's worn since I can remember. "That's real good of you helping your brother like this." "Unlike some people," Mum adds, "at least Dominic will make something of his education." The jab lands exactly where she aimed it. My community college degree might as well be toilet paper in this house. Never mind that I'm the only one actually working full-time while Charlotte plays perfect daughter in med school, and Dominic posts motivational quotes between gaming sessions. "Speaking of education," Charlotte breezes in, designer coffee cup in hand. "Did Mom tell you about my medical school deposit? It's due next week." My stomach drops. "What?" "Well, you're helping Dominic," she says, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. "And medical school is so much more important than..." "Than what?" I snap, surprising myself with the edge in my voice. The kitchen goes quiet. Mom sets down her phone, fixing me with that look that used to send me running to my room. "Charlotte has a real future ahead of her. A doctor in the family? Do you know what that means for us? Us. Always us, except when it comes to family photos, holiday dinners, or anything else where I might actually feel included." "I can't," I say, the words feeling foreign in my mouth. "I don't have anything left." Charlotte's face darkens. "Seriously? After everything this family's done for you? Done for me?" I want to scream about the birthdays they forgot, the school plays they skipped, the time I had pneumonia and Mum told me to stop being dramatic. Instead, I grab my purse. I have to get to work. "Of course you do," Mum sighs, her voice dripping with disappointment. "Running away, as usual." I make it to my car before the shaking starts. My phone buzzes with a text from Charlotte. "Also, you'll cover my med school deposit too, right? It's only $15K. Mom says you owe us at least that much." I stare at the message until the words blur. They don't know where the money for Dominic's tuition really came from. They don't know about the late-night meeting with Raphael, or the manila envelope filled with proof of Mum's side business. They don't know that their perfect family image is built on illegal skin cream and tax evasion. But I know. I've known since I was 11, watching Mum count stacks of cash in the basement while telling me I'd better keep my mouth shut if I knew what was good for me. Another text from Charlotte. "Hello? I need an answer by tomorrow." I start the car, my hands steady now. They want an answer? Fine. They'll get one they never saw coming. I pull out my other phone, the prepaid one Raphael gave me, and type out a message. "I'm ready. Send it." The response comes instantly. "No turning back after this. You sure?" I think about 19 years of being the family mistake, about watching Charlotte and Dominic get everything while I got scraps, about Mom's secret business that paid for their private schools and summer camps while I wore second-hand clothes. "I'm sure," I type back. Send everything to the IRS. I put the phone away and pull out of the driveway, catching one last glimpse of our perfect suburban house in my rearview mirror. Mum always said I'd never amount to anything. She was wrong. I'm about to become the most expensive mistake she's ever made. 3 months ago, I sat across from Raphael in a dimly lit coffee shop, my hands wrapped around a cup I hadn't touched. He looked nothing like I expected, more accountant than information broker, with wire-rimmed glasses and a gentle smile that made it easy to forget what he did for a living. "Show me," he'd said quietly. My hands trembled as I slid the USB drive across the table. 10 years of records, bank statements, supplier contacts, everything I could find about her cream business. "And you're sure about this?" His eyes had searched mine. "Family's complicated." I'd laughed then, a hollow sound that made the barista glance our way. Family's only complicated when you're actually part of one. Now, I'm standing in front of my bathroom mirror, counting tips from another double shift while my phone explodes with messages about Charlotte's graduation dinner. "Mom, your sister's graduation dinner is at 7. Don't embarrass us by being late again." "Charlotte." "Where are you? Everyone's waiting." "Dominic, Mum's getting pissed, Alol." I look at my reflection. Dark circles under my eyes, hair pulled back in a messy bun, still wearing my diner uniform. The fancy restaurant they picked would probably turn me away looking like this. My phone rings. Charlotte. "Where the hell are you?" "I can't make it," I say, continuing to sort bills. "I'm working." "Working?" She spits the word like it's dirty. "It's my graduation dinner. What's more important than that? Paying rent? Eating? Pick one." "Oh my God, are you still bitter about the med school deposit? Mum said you're being ridiculous about—" "I'm not bitter," I cut her off. "I'm tired. There's a difference." "You know what? I'm done trying with you. I'm done pretending you care about this family at all." I think about the notification I got from Raphael this morning. Money cleared, 35K total, clean transfer, untraceable. "You're right," I say. "I'm working jobs you people will never understand." She hangs up. My phone immediately lights up with text from Mom. "Your sister is crying. I hope you're happy. After everything we've done for you. This is why you'll always be alone." I sit on my bathroom floor, surrounded by tip money and the weight of what I've done. The memory of meeting Raphael the second time floods back. "The IRS loves whistleblowers," he'd explained, sliding a form across the table. "Especially when they can prove long-term tax evasion. The reward is usually 15 to 30% of what they recover." "I don't care about rewards," I'd said. I just want justice." He'd smiled knowingly. "That's what everyone says at first, but trust me, take the money. You've earned it." My phone buzzes again. It's Raphael. "Package delivered to IRS office today. Agent Smith is handling the case. Preliminary review looks promising." I stare at the message until another text from Mum appears. "Your grandmother asked about you. Even she's disappointed. That's the final straw." I open my laptop and log into an anonymous email account. With trembling fingers, I type, "To Agent Smith, regarding case Yanu 47291, Layla's Beauty Supply. Additional documentation attached, showing connection to overseas suppliers and cash-only transactions dating back to 2013. I attach the files I've been saving for years, photos of the basement storage room stacked with unmarked boxes, screenshots of Mum's private messages to suppliers, dates and amounts I'd carefully recorded while pretending to do homework at the kitchen table. Just as I hit send, someone knocks at my door. Through the peephole, I see Dad standing there, looking more tired than usual. I open the door. "What are you doing here?" "Your mother's upset," he says, not meeting my eyes. "Charlotte's crying. Can't you just apologize? Keep the peace?" "Keep the peace," I repeat, "like you've done for 25 years. He flinches. "That's not fair." Neither is making your youngest daughter pay for everyone else's dreams. We all made sacrifices. No, I cut him off. You all made choices. I made sacrifices. There's a difference. He starts to speak, but his phone rings. Mum's face lights up the screen. He looks at me apologetically before answering. Yes, honey, I'm talking to her now. No, she's being difficult. I know. I close the door while he's still talking. Through the thin walls, I hear him sigh and walk away. My phone lights up one last time. Raphael again. It's done. No turning back now. You okay? I think about Charlotte's tears, Mum's manipulation, Dad's weakness, about the $35,000 that will help send my siblings to school while they continue to treat me like family furniture. I'm okay, I type back, and I know exactly what I'm doing. Because sometimes keeping the peace means burning everything to the ground first. The first sign that something's wrong comes during Sunday dinner. Mum's missing her usual edge, picking at her food instead of criticising my clothes or career choices. Dad keeps checking his phone under the table, his forehead creased with worry lines. Everything okay? I ask, knowing it's not. Fine, Mum snaps. Just business stuff. Nothing you'd understand. But I do understand. Raphael's morning text explained everything. IRS started their audit. Your mother's business records don't match her reported income. Not even close. Dominic bursts into the dining room waving his phone. Mum, the bursar's office says there's a problem with my financial aid package. Something about pending verification? Mum's fork clatters against her plate. What? They're saying they need additional documentation before releasing funds for next semester. His voice cracks. What if I can't start at NYU? Don't be dramatic, Mum says, but her hands shake as she reaches for her wine glass. Your father will handle it. Dad looks up startled. I don't know if I can, Layla, with everything else going on. Everything else? I ask innocently. What's going on? The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. Finally, Dad turns to me. We're having some issues with the IRS, he says carefully. Nothing serious, just a routine audit. Routine? Mum laughs sharply. They're going through everything, Michael. Everything. I take a sip of water, watching them over the rim of my glass. That sounds stressful. Don't pretend you care, Mum spits. You've made it clear how little this family means to you. This family? I set my glass down hard enough to make the silverware rattle. You mean the one that used my social security number to open credit cards when I was 16? Dad's face goes pale. We were in a tough spot then. We were always in a tough spot, I say. Funny how there was always money for Charlotte's dance lessons and Dominic's gaming computers, though. We all made sacrifices. Dad starts. Stop saying that. The words explode out of me. Stop acting like you did me some huge favour by barely tolerating my existence. How dare you? Mum stands up, her chair scraping against the floor. After everything we've done. Everything you've done? I laugh. Like what? Making me work through high school to build character while Charlotte got SAT tutors? Or maybe you mean telling everyone I'm taking a gap year because you were too embarrassed to admit I was going to community college? That's enough. Dad slams his hand on the table. You have no idea what we went through to raise you. No, you have no idea what I went through being raised by you. The doorbell rings, cutting through the tension. Mum goes to answer it, probably expecting Charlotte, who's running late. Instead, I hear a man's voice. Mrs. Bell, I'm Agent Smith from the Internal Revenue Service. We have some questions about your business operations. Mum's voice turns sugary sweet. Oh, there must be some mistake. My business is completely legitimate. Mum, we have documentation indicating otherwise, including evidence of unreported income exceeding $200,000 over the past 5 years. I stand up, gathering my things. Dad grabs my arm as I pass. "Did you know about this?" he whispers. "About your mother's business?" I look at him. Really look at him for the first time in years. "You mean the illegal skin cream operation she ran from our basement? The one she threatened to blame me for if I ever told anyone?" His grip loosens. "Daria, you want to know the best part, Dad? I kept her secret for years. I watched her build her little empire on the backs of desperate women while treating me like garbage. And you know what finally broke me?" He shakes his head. "When she demanded I pay for Dominic's tuition, she said it was the least I could do. The least I could do." I pull my arm free. "So I did the least I could do. I told the truth." From the front door, I hear Mom's voice rising in panic. Michael, get in here!" Dad looks between me and the door, torn between his usual role of Mum's defender and the weight of what I've just revealed. "You should go help her," I say quietly. "She's going to need it." I walk out through the kitchen door as Agent Smith enters with another official-looking man. My phone buzzes with a text from Raphael. "How's it going?" I type back, "Better than expected, worse than they deserve." Looking back at the house, I see Mum through the window, her face crumpling as Agent Smith pulls out document after document. Dad stands beside her, his hand on her shoulder, both of them looking smaller than I've ever seen them. Charlotte's car pulls into the driveway. She'll walk into chaos, but for once, I won't be around to blame. Some sacrifices, it turns out, are worth making. The family meeting is called 3 days later. I find them all gathered in the living room when I arrive. Mum pacing, Dad slumped in his armchair, Charlotte perched rigidly on the couch, and Dominic sprawled across the floor with his face buried in his phone. "Finally," Mum says as I close the door. "Now we can discuss how to fix your mess." "My mess?" Charlotte stands up, hands on her hips. "The IRS is freezing everything, Daria. Everything. They're saying it might be identity theft, using your social security number." "It's not identity theft." My voice comes out steadier than I feel. "Mum knows exactly what this is about." Mum stops pacing. "What are you implying?" "The cream business, the cash payments, the unmarked boxes in the basement that we were never allowed to touch." I meet her eyes. "Ring any bells?" The colour drains from her face. "You wouldn't." "Wouldn't what?" Dad asks, looking between us. "Layla, what is she talking about?" "Should I tell them, Mum? About how you imported illegal skin lightening creams? How you sold them for cash to desperate women in church basements and salon back rooms?" Dominic finally looks up from his phone. "Wait, what? Or maybe," I continue, my heart pounding, "we should talk about how you threatened to pin it all on me if I ever told anyone. I was 11, Mum. 11. "You're lying," Charlotte says, but her voice wavers. "Mum would never." "The storage unit on Mason Street," I cut in. "Unit 247. Still full of product last time I checked. The key's probably still in the fake bottom of her jewellery box, right next to her real accounting books." Mum sinks onto the couch. "How did you—" "I watched you count money every Sunday night for 10 years. I heard your phone calls with suppliers. I saw the real ledgers you kept hidden from Dad." My laugh comes out bitter. "Did you really think I was too stupid to understand what was happening?" "Layla?" Dad's voice cracks. "Tell me this isn't true." Mum's face hardens. "I did what I had to do to give our children a better life." "Our children?" I step forward. "Or just the ones you wanted?" The room goes deadly quiet. Charlotte's perfect posture crumbles as she sits back down. Dominic's phone slips from his hands. "You know what the funny thing is?" I continue. "I kept your secret. For years, I kept it. Even when you made me feel worthless, even when you treated me like a burden, I stayed quiet. Then why now? Mum's voice is barely a whisper. Why destroy everything? Because you pushed too hard. Because you demanded I pay for their futures while destroying mine. Because you never once, not once, thanked me for anything I did. Dad stands up suddenly. We can fix this. Daria, you can tell them you were mistaken. That you... No. The word rings through the room like a gunshot. I'm done fixing your problems. You ungrateful little... Mum lunges forward, but Dad catches her arm. The IRS has everything, I say calmly. Bank records, supplier information, customer lists. And before you ask, yes, I'm the one who gave it to them. I sold your secret for exactly $35,000, just enough to cover Dominic's tuition and Charlotte's med school deposit. Charlotte makes a choked sound. You used dirty money to pay for... Dirty money? I laugh. No dirtier than the money that paid for your private school, your dance lessons, your perfect life. Get out! Mom's voice is ice cold. Get out of my house. Gladly. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Mom? Remember when you said it was the least I could do? I smile. You were right. I walk out, closing the door on their shocked faces. My phone buzzes. A message from Raphael. You okay? Behind me, I hear Mum's voice rising into a scream. Charlotte's sobs. Dominic's confused questions. The perfect family picture finally shattering. I type back, never better. Another message pops up, this one from Dad. Can you please fix this? For the family. I think about all the times he stood by silently while Mum tore me down. All the times he could have spoken up but didn't. All the years he watched me struggle alone. My reply is simple. No. Then, I delete the message thread with Raphael, erase his contact, and block my family's numbers one by one. The weight of their secret lifts from my shoulders with each tap of the screen. They wanted me to be the family mistake? Fine. I'll be the mistake that brings down their whole house of cards. As I drive away, I catch a glimpse of Mum in the window, phone pressed to her ear, probably calling her lawyer. But it's too late. The truth, like the cream she sold to desperate women, has already seeped in and done its damage. Some stains, after all, never wash out. The fallout spreads like wildfire. Within 2 weeks, Dominic's NYU acceptance is suspended, pending a financial investigation. Charlotte's med school dreams crumble when she can't secure loans without Mom and Dad's financial backing. Our perfect suburban house becomes a fortress of closed curtains and unanswered doorbells. I watch it all from a safe distance until Grandmother Helen calls. Come see me, she says, her voice crackling over the phone. No one else is here. I find her in her small garden apartment, tending to her beloved orchids. She doesn't look up when I enter, just pats the chair beside her. Your mother called me crying yesterday, she says, misting a delicate purple bloom. Says you've destroyed the family. I just told the truth. She sets down her spray bottle. Truth's a funny thing in this family. Always has been. A familiar knot forms in my throat. Are you angry with me too? She turns to face me, her eyes sharp despite her age. You came into this family like an interruption, Daria, but you became the only honest one among them. Before I can respond, my phone buzzes. Agent Smith's name appears on the screen. Ms. Bell, we need to discuss your involvement in your mother's business operations. You're listed as a dependent on several financial documents. I never signed anything, I say quickly. We know. That's part of the problem. Your mother appears to have used your information without consent. We'll need you to come in and make a statement. After I hang up, Helen takes my hand. They're not just going to let this go, you know. I know. Your mother's already talking about lawyers. As if on cue, my phone lights up with a text from Charlotte. Mom's attorney wants to talk to you. Don't ignore this, Daria. You've done enough damage. Another message follows immediately. Also, thanks to you, I had to take a job at the mall. The mall, Daria. I hope you're happy. They think I'll cave, I tell Helen, that I'll take it all back if they pressure me enough. Will you? Before I can answer, there's a sharp knock at the door. Through the window, I see Mom standing there, a man in an expensive suit beside her. Helen sighs. Speak of the devil. Don't answer it, I whisper, but Mom has a key. She bursts in, looking perfectly put together despite everything. Only her eyes, wild and desperate, give her away. You need to sign these papers, she announces, while her lawyer hovers awkwardly by the door. They're a statement saying you were mistaken about what you saw. No. Daria, please. Her voice cracks. They're talking about criminal charges. Your father might lose his job. Is that what you want? What I want. I stand up slowly. I wanted a mother who didn't treat me like a burden. I wanted a family that saw me as more than just a wallet. I wanted... Oh, spare me the victim act, Mom snaps. You think you had it so hard? Try raising a child you never planned for, watching all your dreams disappear. Layla, Helen's voice cuts through the room like a whip. That's enough. Mom flinches. Mother, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. Helen rises from her chair, surprisingly steady. I understand that you're reaping what you've sown, and I understand that you're still trying to manipulate your way out of it. The lawyer clears his throat. Ms. Bell, if you don't sign these papers, your mother will have no choice but to pursue legal action against you for defamation. I laugh, the sound harsh and unexpected. Go ahead. Sue me. I am sure the IRS would love to see you try to explain everything in court. You ungrateful little... Mum starts forward, but Helen steps between us. Leave, Helen says quietly. Now. Mum's face contorts. Fine. But remember this moment, Daria. Remember that you chose to destroy your family. No, Mum. You destroyed this family years ago. I just finally stopped pretending otherwise. After they leave, Helen and I sit in silence, watching her orchids sway in the breeze from the open window. My phone keeps buzzing. Messages from Charlotte, from Dad, from the family lawyer. You know what the saddest part is? I finally say. They're more angry about being exposed than about what they did. Helen takes my hand again. Some people prefer a beautiful lie to an ugly truth. And what do you prefer? She smiles, sad but proud. I prefer the granddaughter who finally stood up for herself. My phone buzzes one last time. It's Dominic. Had to drop out of NYU. Thanks for nothing. I block his number too, adding it to the growing list of family members I'm cutting out of my life. It hurts, but not as much as staying silent did. Sometimes, the price of freedom is everything you thought you couldn't live without. The manila envelope arrives at my apartment on a Tuesday morning. Inside, I find a stack of documents from Mum's lawyer, affidavits, financial statements, and a letter threatening legal action unless I correct my false statements to the IRS. But something catches my eye. Mum's business license. The date looks wrong. I pull up the photo I'd taken years ago of the original license hidden in her desk drawer. The numbers don't match. My hands shake as I dial Raphael's number. They forged documents, I say when he answers. They're trying to create a paper trail that doesn't exist. Send me everything, he replies. And Daria, be careful. People get desperate when they're cornered. I'm scanning the documents when someone pounds on my door. Through the peephole, I see Charlotte, mascara streaked down her face. Open up, she shouts. I know you're in there. I crack the door, chain still latched. What do you want? They're saying Mum might go to jail. Her voice breaks. Do you understand what you've done? They're calling her a criminal. She is a criminal. She's our mother. No, I say quietly. She's your mother. I was just her ATM. Charlotte wipes her eyes, suddenly looking calculating. Is that what this is about? Money? Fine. Name your price to make this go away. It doesn't work like that. Everything works like that. Mum says you sold her out for 35 grand. Well, I can get you more. Just tell the IRS you made a mistake. I unlock the chain and open the door fully. You still don't get it, do you? This isn't about money. It's about 25 years of being treated like garbage by people who were supposed to love me. Oh, grow up. Everyone has family issues? Family issues? I laugh. Is that what you call identity theft? Financial fraud? Emotional abuse? You're being dramatic. Am I? I grab the forged documents from my table. Then explain these. Explain why Mum's trying to create fake business records. Explain why she used my social security number without permission. Explain why she... Because she had to, Charlotte screams. Because keeping up appearances costs money. Because she wanted us to have everything she never had. Us, I repeat. There's that word again, like I was ever part of it. Charlotte's face crumples. Please, Daria, please fix this. I can't work retail forever. This isn't how my life was supposed to go. For a moment, I almost feel sorry for her. Then I remember every time she watched Mum tear me down and said nothing. Every time she demanded more while giving nothing in return. Your life will be exactly what you make of it, I say, just like mine is. I close the door on her protests and pull out my phone. Within minutes, the forged documents are scanned and sent to Agent Smith with a detailed explanation. My phone immediately rings. Mum's number. What have you done? She hisses when I answer. The IRS just called. They're expanding their investigation. Funny how that happens when you forge documents. I did that for you, to protect you from being implicated. No, I say calmly, you did it to protect yourself. Just like always. There's a pause, then her voice turns sickeningly sweet. Darling, please, we can work this out as a family. Come home, let's talk about it. I am home. This isn't you, she tries again. You're having some kind of breakdown. We can get you help. The only breakdown here is your perfect family facade finally cracking. She switches tactics instantly, voice turning to ice. Fine, have it your way. But remember, you started this war. No, Mom, you started it the first time you called me a mistake. I'm just finally finishing it. I hang up as another text from Raphael arrives. Local news picked up the story. It's going viral. Sure enough, when I check online, there it is. Local beauty business owner under investigation for tax fraud and identity theft. The comments are already flowing in. I bought cream from her. She seemed so respectable. What kind of mother uses her own child's identity? My phone explodes with messages. Dad, please call your mother. She's hysterical. Charlotte, the hospital rescinded my acceptance. I hope you're satisfied. Dominic, everyone at school knows I hate you. I block them all one by one, then send one final message to Agent Smith. Check the storage unit on Mason Street, Unit 247. You'll find everything you need there. Within an hour, local news updates with breaking, federal agents raid local storage facility in connection with beauty product fraud case. I watch from my window as police cars flash past, heading toward Mum's house. My phone lights up with an unknown number, probably another family member trying to guilt me into silence. But I'm done being silent, done being the family mistake, done carrying their secrets. Let them feel what it's like to be exposed, vulnerable, alone. Let them reap what they've sown. 3 months pass like a slow-motion collapse. Mum gets arrested, makes bail, and becomes a shut-in. The perfect suburban house grows quiet. Charlotte works folding sweaters at the mall. Dominic moves back home, his NYU dreams replaced by community college applications, the very thing they once mocked me for. I hear all this through Helen, who calls every Sunday despite her failing health. "Your father's working 2 jobs now," she tells me one evening. "The legal bills are crushing them." "Are you trying to make me feel guilty?" "No, dear, just keeping you informed. Knowledge is power, remember?" But her voice sounds weaker each time we talk. When the hospital calls on a Wednesday morning, I'm not surprised. "She's asking for you," the nurse says. I find Helen in a private room, looking small against the white sheets. Her orchids, which I've been caring for, line the windowsill. "There's my brave girl," she whispers. "I don't feel brave," I admit, taking her hand. "Sometimes I feel like I destroyed everything." "You can't destroy what was already broken, dear. You just stopped pretending it wasn't." She dies that night, quietly, while I'm reading her favourite book aloud. The funeral is scheduled for Saturday. I arrive early, hoping to avoid the family, but they're already there. Mum, out on bail, wearing black designer clothes like armour. Dad, grey and stooped, aging years in months. Charlotte, missing her usual perfect makeup. Dominic, actually looking up from his phone for once. They don't speak to me, don't acknowledge me. I stand at the back during the service, watching them play the grieving family while carefully maintaining their distance from me, until Charlotte corners me by the cemetery gates afterward. "Happy now," she demands, her voice rough. "Everything's ruined. Mum might go to prison. Dad can barely look at any of us. Dominic's depressed. And now, Grandma..." "Don't you dare blame Helen's death on me." "Why not? You've destroyed everything else." She steps closer. "Why couldn't you just keep the peace? Play along like everyone else?" "Because peace shouldn't require silence. Because playing along was killing me slowly." "Oh, please. We all had problems with Mom." "Did you? Did you lie awake wondering if you'd be blamed for her crimes? Did you work 3 jobs to prove your worth? Did you..." "Why couldn't you just be grateful," she interrupts, "for everything we gave you?" "Grateful?" I laugh, the sound echoing against the headstones. "For what? The hand-me-downs while you got new clothes, the missed birthdays, the constant reminders that I was a mistake." "We were a family." "No, you were a family. I was your scapegoat." She recoils like I've slapped her. "That's not true. We loved you." "Love shouldn't hurt like that, Charlotte." Mum appears behind her, face tight with barely controlled rage. "Charlotte, come. We're leaving." "But..." "Now." I watch them walk away. A perfect mother-daughter tableau. Dad follows, not meeting my eyes. Dominic trails behind, shoulders hunched. My phone buzzes. It's Agent Smith. "Trial date set for next month. We'll need your testimony." I look at Helen's fresh grave, at the orchids I brought that stand out among the roses and lilies. She told me once that orchids were survivors. Beautiful, not despite their struggles, but because of them. Another text arrives, this one from Charlotte. "Why couldn't you just keep the peace?" I type back, "Because I was never part of the picture you were all trying to keep pretty." Then I block her number, the last one I hadn't blocked yet. The family group chat I was never part of has gone silent. The perfect family photos they posted on social media have stopped. Their carefully curated image lies in ruins, just like the trust they never actually had in each other. Standing at Helen's grave, I finally feel it. Not happiness, not satisfaction, but something closer to peace. Real peace, not the suffocating silence they called peace. "You were right," I whisper to Helen's headstone. "Knowledge is power." The power to break free. The power to speak truth. The power to stop carrying other people's secrets. My phone buzzes one last time. Charlotte, trying to reach me from a new number. Mom's lawyer says if you testify, she could get years. Please, she's still our mother. I delete the message without responding. Let them learn what I learned years ago, that sometimes the hardest part of standing up for yourself is standing alone. But alone is better than buried under their lies. Alone is better than drowning in their expectations. Alone is better than being the family mistake they never wanted, but always needed. I place one last orchid on Helen's grave and walk away, leaving behind the weight of a family that was never really mine. Sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing when to stop trying to earn it. The courthouse feels colder than it should for a summer day. I sit in the witness box, looking at my family in the gallery. Mum in her perfectly pressed suit, Dad staring at his hands, Charlotte and Dominic huddled together like scared children. Please state your name for the record, the prosecutor says. Daria Bell. And what is your relationship to the defendant? I meet Mum's eyes across the courtroom. She's my mother. For the next hour, I tell our story. Not just the business fraud or the identity theft, but all of it. The emotional manipulation, the conditional love, the way she built her empire on illegal creams and crushed dreams. Mom's lawyer tries to paint me as unstable, vengeful, confused. Isn't it true, he asks, that you've always felt jealous of your siblings? No, I felt invisible. And this wasn't about revenge. This was about truth. When it's over, when the jury files out, Charlotte approaches me in the hallway. You didn't have to tell them everything, she whispers. I had to tell them the truth. The truth? She laughs bitterly. The truth is, you're sitting in a nice apartment while our lives fall apart. My apartment isn't nice, Charlotte. It's just mine. No strings attached, no guilt, no demands. The jury takes only 4 hours to reach a verdict. Guilty on all counts. Mom stands stone-faced as the judge delivers her sentence. 5 years in federal prison, plus restitution. Dad crumples in his seat. Charlotte sobs. Dominic finally looks up from his phone. Really looks. Like he's seeing our family clearly for the first time. As the bailiff leads Mum away, she turns to me. I hope you're satisfied. You've won. This wasn't about winning, Mom. This was about stopping the cycle. That night, I sit in my small studio apartment, looking at the orchids I rescued from Helen's place. My phone lights up with a text from Raphael. You did good, kid. How are you holding up? Before I can respond, there's a knock at my door. It's Dominic, looking younger than his 18 years. Can I come in? I hesitate, then step aside. He walks in, taking in my modest space. The second-hand furniture, the carefully tended plants, the peace I've built for myself. Charlotte's moving to Seattle, he says. Got a job offer. Real one, not retail. Good for her. Dad's selling the house. He picks at a loose thread on his sleeve. Says we can't afford it anymore. Are you okay? He looks up, surprised by the question. No. Yes, I don't know. He swallows hard. Did Mom really use your social security number when you were 16? Yes. Did she really threaten to blame you for the cream business? Yes. He sits heavily on my worn couch. I never knew. I mean, I knew things weren't perfect, but you weren't supposed to know. That was the point. I'm sorry, he says suddenly, for calling you names, for blaming you, for not seeing. The words hang between us, fragile and unexpected. Want some tea? I ask. He nods, and for the next hour we talk. Really talk. Maybe for the first time ever. About growing up in that house. About the pressure to be perfect. About the cost of keeping secrets. What do we do now? He asks finally. We live our lives. We heal. we try to be better. After he leaves, I open my laptop and start typing. I paid $35,000 to put my family through college. The money came from selling out my mother's illegal business. Some would call it revenge. I call it the price of freedom. This isn't a story about winning or losing. It's about learning that family shouldn't hurt, that love shouldn't come with conditions, that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop pretending. My mother goes to prison next week. My sister's moving across the country. My brother's finally starting to see clearly. My father's selling the house of cards we lived in. And me? I'm living in a small studio apartment with my grandmother's orchids. I work a normal job. I go to therapy. I'm learning what it means to be free. The $35,000 wasn't just money. It was the cost of breaking chains I'd carried my whole life. It was expensive, yes, but peace? Peace is priceless. I post it anonymously, then close my laptop. My phone buzzes with a text from Charlotte. I'm sorry for everything. Maybe someday we can... I leave the message unfinished, unread. Someday, maybe, but not today. Today, I water Helen's orchids. Today, I breathe freely in my own space. Today, I choose peace over pretense. The truth cost me a family that was never really mine, but it gave me something better, myself.